Construction work commences on NOA Road projects. Palestinian Ambassador to Nigeria urges Israeli and Palestinian authorities to release hostages. Ecuador Vice President to relocate to Israel to pursue peace agreements between Israel and Palestine. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Details of the news. I am Priska Wampo. Wife of the governor of Anambra State and founder of the Healthy Living with Nonye Soludo, Mrs. Nonye Soludo says she strongly believes that mothers can lead a successful campaign to restore moral and social order in the society, starting from their various homes. Mrs. Soludo was speaking at the Basilica of St. Andrew's Church, Onitsha, during the 2023 convention of the Women's Wing of the Christian Council of Nigeria, Anambra State Chapter. Details of this report from here.
Delivering a keynote speech on the theme, Godly Not Drugly Youths, an imperative for New Anambra State, the governor's wife explained that the society has found its way in a difficult path, largely because the home has its schedule of moral upbringing has not lived up to expectation. She pointed out that most parents have fallen short of the standards of child upbringing, including failure to impart virtues of love, hard work, respect, fear of God, and patience in their children, while others have lost the courage to question their children and worse when certain situations arises. Mrs. Soludo, while expressing optimism on better future for the present generation, explained that she is, however, worried about the preparedness of those in whose hands the future will be bequeathed, explaining that there is still a lot before mothers as the heart and conscience of any home. The Anambra governor's wife stressed that to raise a godly generation, a mother's role must be felt in every aspect. She further urged parents, especially mothers, to make their children their best friends by teaching them the values of life and by being their best role models, stating that godliness begins from home, from where the children are raised. She spoke on the need to return to the era of communal child raising, explaining that since a child is described as a prerogative of the community, home alone cannot raise a perfect child. Mrs. Soludo also stated that her non-governmental organization has continued to lead campaigns for full domestication of right health habits, including campaigns against drug abuse, while the present administration is making strategic policies to better the lives of Anambra youths.
The Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budgets, Mrs. Chiamaka Nnake, says the proposed 2024 budget estimate, if passed in law, will explore Anambra's 5 trillion naira economy to the fullest. Mrs. Nnake will disclose this while fielding questions from journalists during a budget breakdown session at the Government House. Oka revealed that it can change the fortunes of the state. AGK Abana filed in this report.
Mrs. Nnake, who disclosed this while fielding questions from journalists during a budget breakdown session at the Government House, Oka, revealed that it can change the fortunes of the state. According to Mrs. Nnake, out of the proposed budget size of over 410.1 billion naira, recurrent expenditure amounts to over 96.2 billion naira, while the capital expenditure amounts to over 313.93 billion naira, with a deficit of 120.84 billion naira. While explaining the government's strategy to balance the budget and reduce deficit, the commissioner explained that a concessionary loan that will place emphasis on project financing will be acquired, citing the agreement between the Anambra State government and Afrexim Bank to the tune of $200 million. She noted that the budget has various sources of income, stressing that the current administration is only interested in loan facility options that have the ability to repay itself. According to her, the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure will get 141 billion naira to complete ongoing and new road projects, including single dual carriage roads, as well as 2.5 billion for urban regeneration, for Anambra iconic designs and road mapping, amongst others. 4 billion naira, according to her, will go into the airport, industrial cities, new cities, branded hotels and SID, amongst others, while the Ministry of Housing is proposed to get over 10.52 billion naira for the completion of Anambra State Government House, Lodge, and Commissioners' Quarters, construction of old people's homes and other buildings. To further reposition the education system, the Ministry of Education is projected to get over 20 billion naira, while the Ministry of Culture, Entertainment and Tourism will get 10 billion naira for the development of leisure and entertainment centers across the state. The Ministry of Health will get over 16.7 billion naira to revamp the healthcare. The Ministry of Power and Water Resources is projected to get over 8.1 billion naira for revamping of urban water schemes. Also, the Ministry of Youth Development and Solution Innovation District is budgeted to get over 4.1 billion naira for youth innovation and empowerment programs, as well as Solution Innovation District.
We have a 5 trillion naira worth of economy, and we are unable to generate. In fact, this year, 2023, we estimated 4 billion per month. That's 48 billion for the year, and we haven't even done half of it. So that shows their potentials. Yes, it's not culturally, we're not used to it, but it's just one of the ways that we can harness. That's the only way economy grows.
In order to pursue the agenda of everything technology and technology everywhere, the ICT agency will go up over 2.7 billion naira, while the Ministry of Transport will get over 5.3 billion naira to improve the transport infrastructure, building of water transport with boats and buses for mass transit. Ministries of Information, Women Affairs, Agriculture, Economic Planning and Budget, as well as the Sports Development Commission, are all captured in the budget as well.
When with deficit, you are going to do loan, but it's a concessionary loan. I think it's very clear on that. If you understand that he has actually from 2022 requested the House of Assembly to approve 100 billion loan, he hasn't sourced it yet. A part of the request stated that the loan must be concessionary, right? So that is still in the budget, in plan.
The media conference was also attended by the Commissioner for Information, Sir Paul Nwosu, and Press Secretary to Governor Chukwuma Soludo, Mr. Christian Aburime.
Construction work has commenced on the 3.4-kilometer NOA Road, barely 3 weeks after the contract was awarded by the state government. Works correspondent Ngozi Obileri reports.
Site, excavation and drainage construction were ongoing after clearing of the road from Nnokwa axis, while heavy-duty vehicles were seen working at various levels on the road. Speaking to the ABS, the site manager, Engineer Chukwudi Chikeluba, said they were mobilized to site almost immediately after the contract was awarded, adding that they have 8 months to complete the job. According to Engineer Chikeluba, the road will have 75 by 75 square drainage channels on both sides of the road, 6 inches stone base and gutter-to-gutter asphalt.
We're already on site. We want to, the duration is 8 months. So we want to see whether we can do less than 8 months. There are some buildings and some walls we need to remove. So far, the people are cooperating. It's the plan. By His grace, we will deliver.
He said that there are some walls and building obstructions which would be removed since they have the cooperation of the people. The width of the road is 7.3 meters from Nnokwa Oketiti Road. I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
The chairman, Post-Primary School Service Commission, PPSSC, Oka, Professor Nkechi Ikediugu, has charged candidates sitting for the computer-based test CBT examination for teachers' recruitment to take it seriously, as only qualified candidates to be selected. Professor Ikediugu gave the charge while addressing the candidates at the ongoing CBT recruitment at the IDK Center in Oka. Queen Anbogo has the details.
Professor Ikediugu reiterated that the essence of the examination being conducted at the directive of Governor Chukwuma Soludo was to meet the educational needs in the state schools.
Our governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, has said that gone are the days where schools have no teachers. You recall that last year we recruited 5,000. And this year again, he said we should recruit more, especially in area of need.
On the rumors that candidates pay money before they can be shortlisted, Professor Ukediugo asked the candidates if they paid any money before they could be shortlisted, to which they answered no, while assuring that everyone who applied for the teaching job will participate in the examination. The PPSSC chairman further told the candidates that the recruitment exercise is free of charge and cautioned them against paying money to anybody, while assuring that the selection will be transparent as their results will be published after the examinations. In their separate remarks, some of the candidates, including Chidimma Ezama and Happiness Onwaso, expressed hope that they will come out successfully, even as they called for continuous improvement in Anambra State education sector.
Actually, to them to look into the environment, the classrooms, to be sure that we meet up with the modern ways of learning.
I'm expecting that this exam will come out successful. As you can see, a lot of people are going for this exam. This is competitive. So I myself, I know that by God's grace that I will pass this exam.
The PPSSC chairman later went round the exam hall to inspect the candidates writing the exam as at the time of this report.
As Anambra State observed the usual monthly sanitation exercise, Awka South local government area witnessed high compliance by residents and road users. Human and vehicular movements are restricted as many people participated in the exercise both on the streets and in the markets. ABS environment correspondent Blessing Uchendo has the details.
Areas visited included Aroma Junction, Eko Market, Amobia, Nkwame and Ifitoka Market, among others. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Anambra State Waste Management Authority, ASWAMA, Mr. Mike Ozemena, in company of enforcement team, monitored the capital city to ensure that wastes are being evacuated accordingly. Speaking during the exercise, Mr. Ozemena emphasized that healthy and clean environment is critical to the development of Anambra State and assured that the exercise will remain a weekly activity in order to achieve the best results. He encouraged the residents to imbibe a better attitude towards the environment for sustainability. Mr. Zemena further pointed out the negative impact of improper waste disposal and advised that people should always use the receptacles provided all around the state for better waste management.
If you clean your environment, you run away from diseases. Cleanliness is next to godliness. And so that's what we're telling our people, that look, we must, as a matter of fact, it's a must that we've got to clean up the place. The government wants it clean, and then you have to help him make it work.
On his part, the Transition Committee Chairman of Awka South Local Government Council, Mr. Tangod Anago, represented by the Commander, Dobo Culture, Prince Ikechukwu Ndigwe, said that the council, with the support of the state government, is committed to enforcing the sanitation laws and asks residents to either key into the sanitation or face the full wrath of the law. Mr. Nago noted that compliance is key to achieving the objectives of the exercise, expressed optimism that next month's exercise will record improvements as the enforcement team is determined to help in achieving clean and healthy Anambra in line with Governor Chukwuma Soludo's vision. Some defaulters, including Ngozi Okoye, Henry Ugu, and Ifeoma Abo, pleaded for more sensitization, which according to them will help more people to comply, and appreciated the state government for its interest in creating sustainable policies for safer environment.
Sanitation starts by 7 o'clock. The government gave an hour or 2 hours gap for you to reach your destination before 7. So next sanitation will be a different thing in this state, and we'll get the state cleaner than it is today.
In Awka, Blessing Uchendo, ABS News.
The Palestinian Ambassador to Nigeria, Abdullah Shawesh, has decried the continued artillery bombardments and rising death toll in Gaza, which he said has exceeded 14,200, made up of nearly 6,000 children and 4,000 women. Shawesh, who gave journalists in Abuja the latest information on the war in Gaza, called for total ceasefire and immediate commencement of dialogues for a two-state solution to the war, so that hostages can go back home, while calling that hostages and prisoners on both sides are allowed to go home. Shawesh called for an independent investigation into the attack on Al-Shifa Hospital. The Palestinian Ambassador wondered how displaced civilians are attacked repeatedly in UN shelter, which is meant to provide safety for the people. Ecuador's vice president will take up a post in Tel Aviv to pursue a peace agreement between Israeli and the Palestinians, the government in Quito said. President Daniel Noboa, who took office on Thursday for an abbreviated 18-month term, assigned the peace portfolio to Vice President Veronica Abad as a sole function, a statement said. Abad will work of Ecuador's assembly in Tel Aviv as collaborator for peace and to prevent the escalation of the conflict between Israel and Palestine. It said without specifying when she will travel there or for how long. Ecuador's constitution says the vice president will take over for the president in case of a temporary or permanent absence, but for the rest of the time, will exercise the functions assigned by the president. However, national media have reported an alleged distancing between Noboa and Abad since their August electoral win. After being sworn in, they have both carried out several official activities. Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa has urged the federal government to look into the plight of ex-players, some of whom he said are living in abject penury. Musa said only a few of the retired players earned big money when they were active, adding that they live the larger-than-life existence in their active days because of the glamour associated with the game. Speaking during the Lagos launch of the Let's Do It Again campaign, which aims to garner support for the national team dream of winning their 4th Africa Cup of Nations title next year in Cote d'Ivoire, Musa told Sports Minister Senator John Owan-Eno that they need something from him that will take care of old players. The Let's Do It Again campaign, which was launched in Lagos last week, is to galvanize support for the Super Eagles ahead of the Cote d'Ivoire 2024 Africa Cup of Nations. Musa said he would take the campaign for another Africa Cup of Nations success so his teammates to show them that Nigeria still cares for them. Anambra State stood still for the final farewell of a great son and former governor of the state, late Dr. Chinwoke Mbadinuju, as he was later raised at his country home, Ndipo Village, Uli, in Ihala local government area of Anambra State. The burial attracted many dignitaries, including past governors, senators, House of Assembly members, among others, and started its interdenominational service. Esther Asanya has the details.
In a tribute, the daughter, Dr. Ijoma Mbadinuju, and the son of the deceased, Barrister Chetachi Mbadinuju, described their late father as a good man and went down memory lane on how he brought them up in love and fear of God, adding that they will forever miss him.
He was an incredible man who taught so many lives, even before he became the governor of Anambra State. Dad was honorable, he was kind, he was charismatic, handsome, and he knew it too. He was loving, giving, and cared with a passion unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Former senators that represented Anambra Central Senatorial District, Senator Chris Ngige and Senator Uche Ekunife, as well as the senator representing Anambra South Senatorial District, Senator Ifeanyi Oba, described late Governor Mbadinuju as a great man who laid a solid foundation for the state and thanked the present governor, Professor Soludo, for the bold step of giving him a state burial, noting that the late governor merited it.
Mbadinuju left lasting legacies that I haven't seen who will surpass, despite the mega resources. When the state was getting between 750 to 800 million monthly allocation, salary was about 435 million, with pension about 100 million, pension and gratuities. So he had less than 200 million to work. And in spite of that, he built State Assembly complex, he built Judiciary complex, he built Dorakwin Center, he built Ekweme Center, he built ABS. Mbadinuju was one that initiated Ngosika Estate. He brought in the Abuja Estate. Mbadinuju acquired 2 oil wells for Anambra State and registered Orient Petroleum. That is why Anambra State today is an oil producing state, courtesy of Mbadinuju.
Odera is a big light to Anambra and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He was there for all of us, and we understand that the good Lord will accept his soul, because he exhibited is Christianism while here on earth.
In his reaction, the Transition Committee Chairman, Ihiala Local Government Area, Mr. Anayochukwu Ojiako, expressed satisfaction with the honor done the late governor by Indian Anambra, adding that Uli community and the entire Ihiala Local Government Area will forever be grateful. Anambra State-born Nollywood actor Bob Manuel Udohu extolled the efforts of the late governor in fixing Anambra in spite of all challenges, noting that he laid a foundation on which successful governors dwell to improve the state. The burial featured parade by the security personnel, rendition by a choir, prayers for the family, and interment. Esther Asanya, ABS News.
Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS in many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page. Follow at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Oka. Follow on X at ABS Radio TV. And on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. To end the news this morning, a recap of the main points. Wife of Anambra State Governor, Mrs. Soludo, has urged parents to be alive to their responsibilities of child upbringing. Construction work has commenced on NOA Road projects. Palestinian Ambassador to Nigeria has urged Israeli and Palestinian authorities to release hostages. Ecuador Vice President is to relocate to Israel to pursue peace agreements between Israel and Palestine. To end the news, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has called for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that ends the breakfast news at this time on ABS Television. Thanks for watching. I am Friska Monko. Good morning.